morning, dear students. Welcome back after your PT1 examination in your physics class. Today we will learn chapter 11, Human Eye and Colorful World. You know that the last chapter we have studied is chapter 10, Light. The significance of light is only because of eye, because eye is only a sense organ which is capable to see the things, or which is because of the reflection of light we means any of the things are visible to us, and the things are visible to us because we have eye. So here, if you just close your eyes, and maybe because of closing of your eyes you may smell something, you can predict something, you can touch something. That means you have a sense of touch, you have a sense of smell, and by that you can identify any of the object. But until unless you don't have eyes, you cannot understand the color of that object. That means if this colorful world is visible to us because of the gift given by the God, that is eye. And in the five sense organs, this is the most significant and most important sense organ, eyes. Okay. So here, first of all, we'll see the structure of eye. We'll understand the part of eye, and after that we will see the each and every part's function also. Okay. So we will start here. You can see that this is the transparent part in front of your eye. This is called cornea. Okay, you can see that this convex structure here, bulging out part, it is called cornea. Then after that, this cornea is with this muscles, it is attached here. Then after that you can see this white band, that means the white part, the full white band like a structure here, a covering of eye. Okay, that is called sclera. This is called sclera. This white band you are looking here, this is called sclera. Okay, and attached with this sclera, you will find here a muscular structure. This is a muscles. You can say this and this both you can observe here, and this is actually, it is iris. That means this muscular part you are looking here, this is iris. In between iris, hole is there, and this hole is called pupil. This hole is called pupil. Okay. Then with these muscles, some fiber like this structure are attached, which are holding this lens type structure. Okay. So these muscles or this fiber like muscles you are looking here, this is called ciliary muscles. Now these ciliary muscles are holding the lens. This is a crystalline lens. Actually you can see that this lens, this is a convex lens, and it is called crystalline lens because it is made up of jelly like structure. So, and most important thing that you can know about this lens is, while we will study about the function of the lens, this lens can be adjusted itself according to the object distance in front of the eyes. Okay, so this is a crystalline lens. Between cornea and lens. A liquid-like feelings are there between these two, the cornea and the lens, and this liquid is called as aqueous humor. After that, you can see that this is the green color band you are looking here. Actually, it is gray color band, but I am not having that type of sketch pen, so I have made up of this only. This is green color. Okay, so it is actually the gray color band, and this gray color band is called choroid. Okay, now you can see that between this lens and this part, choroid, you can see here the choroid. Okay, so between this is the covering the whole ball of the eye. So between this also a liquid is there. This liquid is present here, and this liquid is called vitreous humor. Okay, this liquid is called vitreous humor. And very important, the part which we can see here, this is a screen. You will find here, this is a screen, and this screen is just working as a photographic plate in camera, as it is working photographic plate. That way this screen is also working here, and this screen is called what it is? Retina. The screen is called retina. Then this you can see here a point. From this point all these nerves are connecting, and these nerves which are connecting here are called optic nerves, which is used to send the messages to the brain and can receive messages from brain. Okay, then after that you can see that this point, I am discussing about the point here from where this all optical nerves are inserted, you can say, or joint. Okay, so this point is called blind spot. This is called blind spot. Why it is called so, we'll understand it when we learn about the function of each part. Okay, then just in front of lens in the retina another point is there, and this point is called yellow spot. Once again you can see, just in front of the lens in the retina a point is there, and this point is called yellow spot. So these are the parts of the human eye. Now after that we'll see the function of each part of the eyes. Let's see the function of eye. Function of eye, that means each part of eye we will see here. So first of all we'll see about the sclera, that is also called sclerotic. Here, as you know, I explained you, this is the white part, it is called sclera. Okay, so actually the thick white tough outer layer, that is called sclera, and it serves to protect the delicate organs within the eyes. That means it is a tough layer which protects the delicate organs of the eyes inside it. Okay, next we will see about the cornea. Already we have seen this cornea is this convex like structure. This is a bulging outer part, and you can see that it serves as a window for the light, and it is actually focusing the light because it is a convex like structure here. So whatever lights are coming here, that will be converge after this, means when it pass through cornea, it converge and it will be focused towards the lens. It is made up of a transparent medium material tissue. So you can see a transparent polythene like structure in the outer part of the eye. So this structure is actually the cornea, that is the window for the light to enters inside the eye. Okay, now we will see iris. Here I have explained you, iris is the muscular part and it is a dark colored muscles. This dark colored muscles, this is the opening. Here you can see that the dark colored muscles, both the sides here, between this opening is there, or you can say simply hole is there, and this hole is actually called the pupil. So this part, the muscular part or this iris is just controlling the amount of light by adjusting the size of the pupil. And you can see that sometime the blue colored, the black colored or the brown colored of the eye or the pupil, that is because of this iris. So here iris is just adjusting the pupil when anybody enters in the dark room. So this iris is relaxed, this iris is actually relaxed and widen the size of the pupil, and when somebody enters to a very bright light, means the room or the place where very bright light is there, so in that place actually this pupil, the size of the pupil will be very small, and that means this iris will be contract. Iris is contract, that means iris is contract in this way, so the hole become less, this hole is small and this pupil size will be small now. Okay, when we are going to the very dark room or the dark room, so that time the iris will be relaxed, so the size of the pupil will be large. Just now we discussed about the iris, and we talked here the iris is the muscular part and the hole is there between this is called pupil. You can see that the pupil, that means between the lens a black color spot is there. So actually that black color spot, which is called pupil, is just because of no light reflects from it. Whenever all the light absorb in any of the places or anywhere, so that place is looking like black. Okay, so this is also look like black. And as already we have seen or discussed, the iris, when the iris relaxed, the size of the pupil will be large. When iris contract, the size of pupil will be small. Okay, that means what the pupil is doing here, the pupil is just regulating the amount of light. How it is regulating the amount of light? As already I said to you, when you just face very bright light, at that time what happen, these muscles are relaxed, these muscles are contract, and so that the size of the pupil will be small. When the size of the pupil will be small, a very small light will enter through this pupil and it will be incident to this lens. That means the bright light will not damage this lens. Okay, so that way it is just regulating the amount of light enter. That means the less light will enter when we are facing the bright light, so the less light will be enter inside this lens. Okay, just because of the size of the pupil. And when when we are going to any of the dark room, and that time, as I said to you, the iris are relaxed, and the iris are relaxed, that means it is widened, the hole will be widened, or you can say the size of the pupil will be very large. And why it is large? Because the more light can enter through it and can incident to the this lens. So this way the pupil is regulating the amount of light. Now come to the next part, between the cornea and the eye lens. As I told you, the aqueous humor is there. What is this aqueous humor? Actually, this aqueous humor is a liquid between these two. This liquid is actually, the work of this liquid is to prevent the eye from collapsing when the atmospheric pressure will be changed. Sometime it happened, the atmospheric pressure will be high or the atmospheric pressure will be low. That will not affect the size of the eye, or it will just prevent the eye to collapse. So this humor is there, which is working here, just means preventing, you can say the preventing the eye to collapse against the change in the atmospheric pressure. Okay, next we'll see the very important part of the eye, that is lens. This lens, as you are looking here, it is a convex lens, it is a converging lens. The whole light which enters through the cornea is focused to this lens. Then after that, when it strike to the lens, again it will be focused, and the image will form here in this screen, which is called the retina. Okay, it is very important to talk about the lens. When we are talking about the lens, to talk about this muscles, ciliary muscles, because these ciliary muscles will adjust the size of the lens. You can see that when we are looking a very far object, that time the ciliary muscles are very relaxed, and when it is relaxed, the lens will become thin. When the lens will become thin, you can see that the rays which are coming here are converged to this point, that is this focus, and the focal length of the eye lens will be changed. Now it will become large. Okay, now what happened when we are looking to a nearby object? So that time the ciliary muscles will contract, and because of the contraction, this lens will become thick here this way, and because the lens become thick, the focal length also will be adjusted here, and the focal length will become less here. That means the rays will converge very fast. That means the power of this lens will become high, and here you can see the power of this lens will become low. Okay, that means what happened, just these two together, that means the ciliary muscles and the lens, these two are working together to adjust the focal length of the eye lens, and this just to see the nearby object and the far object. That means from one eye lens or the same eye, we are looking the nearby object and the far object together. So this can be just because of this adjustment of the focal length, and this adjustment of the focal length of eye lens to see the nearby object as well as to see the far object is called the power of accommodation. That means the power of accommodation is what here? The power of accommodation is actually the adjustment of the focal length to make the eye visible, the nearby object as well as the far object. So these two will provide the power of accommodation, the ciliary muscles and the eye lens. Okay. Let's see now the function of retina here. As you know already, this is the part, as I told you, this one is the retina, and it is working like a screen. Photosensitive part is there. Photosensitive part, that means the part which is sensitive for the light. Actually, this retina consists fine nerves tissue which live inside the wall of eye and acts like a screen or the photographic plate or the photographic film, you can say. These tissues or the photosensitive tissues or the cells, what they are doing, whenever a light falls on it, they are changing this light signal to the electric signal, and later on this electric signal will be sent to the brain. Okay, so the brain will read out what image is formed in the screen or the retina. Okay, here the cells which are present in the retina are the two types of cells, that is rod cells and the cone cells. Rod cells are sensitive to the dim light and the cone cells are sensitive to the color. You might have seen a bullfighting, and in the bullfighting you have seen that a fighter is just waving a scarf or the cloth, and that is of red color, and the bull is just looking that scarf and approaching towards that fighter. We are thinking that they are looking to this red color scarf, but it is not true. Actually, these bulls are color blind. Color blind, that means the cone cells are not present in it. They are just looking the waving scarf, and that waving scarf color is not visible to them. Now come to this part, rod cells. Rod cells are present in the eyes of the owl, and because of that they are easily see the world or the things around them in the night also. Okay, so these are the function of the rod cells and the cone cells which are present in the retina. Now you can see that the two spots are there in the retina. Here you will find that this is the screen, the retina, and one spot is there. This spot is called yellow spot. Why it is yellow spot? Because whenever the light enters, the light will be incident on all this screen, and because of that the image is formed in this screen. Okay, but since this point the yellow spot is just behind the lens, and here you will find that the less rod cells are present and more cone cells are present. So because more cone cells are present, so they are very sensitive towards the colors, and they are very sensitive towards the bright, that point, in this particular point. Okay, so whenever an image will falls on this point, the person will see the clear image, the clear bright image of the object, and that is why it is called the yellow spot. But just opposite happen when the image falls on this point, which is called the blind spot, because all the optic nerves inserted in this point. So whenever it happen, all the light will falls on this point, in this particular point, the person is not able to see that object. The object is not visible to that person, and this point is called, that's why, no vision part of the retina. Okay, so in this point no image will be formed or you can say simply, if image is formed, then also the eye cannot detect that image. That means the optical nerves cannot send that in that point or that message to the brain. Brain cannot read that message, and so the image is not visible to the person, and this is called the blind spot. Now one more part is remaining here, that is choroid. Choroid is what? I told you, this is the this is the gray color pigment, the gray color pigments, or the second layer. Second layer, that means after this sclera, one more layer is there. This is of gray color layer, and this is called the choroid. And this is simply because of what? This is simply just to avoid the reflection of the light. This screen is there, that is the dark color screen, and it is just to avoid the reflection, so that the clear image will be obtained on the retina. Okay, and one more thing is there, you can see that the vitreous humor is the liquid here, and this liquid is between the eye lens and the retina. This liquid is between the eye lens and the retina, and this liquid is just responsible to give the shape of the eye.